I wish you health, dear Ukrainians. Today is the full day of reports by Prime Minister Yuliia Svyrydenko, Minister of Energy Denis Shmyhal. Restoration work continues after Russian strikes. This night, unfortunately, there were new hits. The main target for Russia is unchanged, our energy. In fact, almost 58,000 people work around the clock and only in repair crews on power grids and generation facilities. The resources of Ukrzaliznytsia and other state-owned companies have been involved. For Kyiv, where the situation is very difficult, an additional 50 brigades from all over the country are involved. There are also houses that are without heating, and in relation to them, in fact, the necessary equipment and the necessary teams are manually sent to each house. It is also difficult in the Kyiv region, especially in the northern part of the region, also in the Boryspil district, as well as in the border and frontline regions, where repairs of networks and repairs of facilities are complicated due to virtually constant shelling, constant strikes. These are Kharkiv, Chernigiv region, Sumy region, Dnipro region, Zaporizhia. Special attention is paid to these regions. There was a lot of work in the Poltava region and in Odessa to stabilize the situation in the energy sector. I want to thank all the working brigades, energy companies, everyone, both public and private, all city and community leaders, who are really with their people and really help us. A solution is now being implemented to increase electricity imports. I want to thank the partners who fulfill our agreements on the supply of the necessary resources, machinery and equipment. In particular, these days our agreements with Italy have begun to be implemented. We talked about it with Giorgia Meloni. Now support packages, and these are very important things, very important equipment is being imported into Ukraine. I also want to note the team of our Naftogaz. All week there were strikes on the company's facilities in different regions, the last one on gas production, and this strike was yesterday. It is very important that private Ukrainian companies work together with the government, together with the state and together with the state system to add stability to the country. This is exactly how everyone needs to work together, everyone in the team of Ukraine. Today there were reports of our delegation from America. Rustem Umerov reported on meetings with representatives of President Trump. There have already been several rounds of negotiations. They are working on the documents that are needed to end the war. It is important that the Ukrainian team fully informs the American side about what is happening in Ukraine and about the constant Russian strikes on our energy system. If the Russians really wanted the war to end, they would focus on diplomacy, not missile attacks, blackouts and attempts to damage even our nuclear power plants. We have data on objects on which Russia conducted reconnaissance for strikes. Everything clearly indicates that diplomacy is definitely not a priority for Russia. We must admit this. It is necessary to continue to put pressure on the aggressor and the real cause of this war. The reason is in Moscow. We will work this week for such new pressure and a clear position of the world towards Russia. I would also like to acknowledge our warriors today. Despite everything, despite the harsh weather and Russia's constant assaults, we have good results in defending our positions. It is important that in many directions, our soldiers are doing exactly what is needed for Ukraine. I thank you all, guys. Polyipol, the 5th Assault Brigade, the 1st and 225th Separate Assault Regiments. The Kupiansk direction is a real example for others. The 429th Brigade of Unmanned Aerial Systems, Achilles, the 13th Operational Brigade of the National Guard, Hatia, the 101st Brigade of the Protection of the General Staff, the 475th Separate Assault Regiment. Thank you very much. Also Kharkiv region, 127th Heavy Mechanized Brigade. Thank you very much. Pokrovsky direction, our 25th Airborne Brigade and our units of the 425th Separate Assault Regiment. Thank you. Sumy region, 71st Huntsman Brigade. Well done. Osheretin direction, soldiers of the 14th Operational Brigade of the National Guard, Chervona Kalina, and the 25th Separate Assault Battalion. Well done. And also our positions in the Orikhiv direction, the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade. Thank you, warriors. Glory to everyone who fights for Ukraine as for themselves. I thank everyone who works like this, so that our Ukraine lives. Glory to Ukraine.